Release worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
So the reason y'all came to this video is because you want to hear me hate on Dragon Ball Super the movie Broly. And I don't have hate really for the movie itself. I think that I'm split right now. I'm 50-50 for the most part, but obviously the hype train, I'm on it. I'm a passenger on it. And it's pulling me to a place that I never thought we'd go, and that is making non-canon characters canon, which is something that I probably should have seen coming, but I did not. And the movie, we don't know anything besides the teaser, some of the new characters, the character designs, and the fact that the movie's Broly, or based on Broly, and the fact that this new Saiyan in the teaser, he is Broly. He's not even a brand new Saiyan. I think that's the part that gets me bummed out the most. So, if you're easily triggered, I would just click off this video. Because you're thinking that I'm being so mean in the movie, or maybe I'm trying to be really critical on it for no reason. We don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. And I'm 50-50 on this concept. I'm a little bummed out that I'll go with the negative first. I'm a little bummed out that this movie is based on Broly, because I would have loved to have a brand new character to play with on new games in Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 and Xenoverse 3, a new character that we would have known a whole backstory about. And I guess Broly in a sense is a new character, seeing as how we don't know anything about him for this movie. I'm sure they'll change the majority of his backstory. I loved Broly in the movies, in the old movies, in the canon, non-canon movies, I mean, and I thought that he looked cool. I loved his powers. I loved how he was crazy, but I just hated how the movie presented certain things. I didn't like how he was a big crybaby and how his trigger was Goku. I mean, I thought it was cool when Kale was going berserk and she was yelling Goku, Goku during the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power, but at the same time, I just think that it's stupid and it's dumb, and I've always thought that. The Broly movie, the first one, is not the best. The second one still has a lot of problems, and the third one is just garbage. Not my favorite of the Dragon Ball movies. I would say my favorite one is Janemba. That's probably the one that I like the most, as the ones that are not canon. And so I don't really have an affinity toward Broly, really. And if they remake his story and make it good, then I'm 100% on board. It seems like they're going in this direction to go further into the Saiyan's past, and maybe they're gonna link him to the Saiyan's past. Maybe we'll see Bardock, in some sort of flashback or something. Maybe we'll finally be able to meet or see Goku's mom if we keep going into the past of the Saiyans. So that's all really cool, but I just wanted there to be a brand new Saiyan. I wanted to meet Yamoshi, because that's a character that Akira Toriyama came out of nowhere to kind of give a backstory to him, and it seems like he probably forgot about him at this point. All it took was a couple months, and he's like, who's Yamoshi? What are S cells? And I mean, he could still be in the movie. He could be maybe the original one that had this sort of power, because I've been making videos trying to theorize about this new transformation for the longest. At least I was right. At least the new Saiyan's form, I guess I was right on that one. It is Berserk. That's what Kale has. So I guess that's what Broly has, and it is a really interesting power, because Berserk makes the Saiyans in their normal state, I guess, without going into the God Key aspect of it, be able to compete theoretically with characters that do have the God state, like we see in this poster. We have both Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, which is weird because they look different in this poster than what I assumed they would look like with the art style that they've been pushing and promoting. because the art style they're promoting and pushing is very fluid and looks very One Piece-ish, and this looks straight up like some DeviantArt shit. So I don't exactly know where they're going with this, but again, I just would have loved to have a brand new character, and the fact that they're making a movie on a character they already have, they know it's really popular. That's what they created Kill. They even acknowledge that. That's the only reason Kill exists, because of the popularity of Broly, and now they've just remade Broly for Dragon Ball Super. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing, honestly. I can't lie. And you guys I may be killing your hype a little bit, but let's get to the really good part here, where I'm going to pick up your hype from the floor where I crushed it with my size 15 boots, and I'm gonna lift it up and put it into the sun and let it cook for a minute, because you guys need to be on a high right now. You guys need to be on a high right now, and that is that this movie opens up so many possibilities for the future of Dragon Ball, because now we can have all these characters that are not canon remade into canon characters. That gives me more hype than anything. If you guys have seen my Twitter or my community tab, I love Janemba. I just told you guys that I love Janemba, and now Janemba can be possibly a canon character because they could just remake that story. They can remake all these stories. They could add, we could see Cooler in this. Maybe that's the reason we have him in Dragon Ball Heroes. Maybe they're gonna remake him and put him in this movie. So Frieza has more backstory and has more meaning to him besides just being alone with his dad. That would be fantastic. It just opens up so many possibilities, because the movies themselves, the ones that are non-canon from the 90s and the early 2000s, say what you will, but they had some of the more interesting characters. Even compared to Dragon Ball Z, especially Dragon Ball GT, honestly, and that's another thing right there. Dude, why stop at movies now? We can remake, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying this as a positive. I mean, people be like, oh, we're retreading old ground, and they're being lazy, and in a sense they are a little bit trying to remake these characters, but. As long as they remake them and give them good backstories and make them cool, maybe give them new designs, because I would love to play them opposite of their non-canon counterparts in different video games. As long as they do all that, then it's fine. And I mean, again, what's to say let's stop at movies? Let's go ahead and go into Dragon Ball GT. Let's take Super Saiyan 4 and make that a new form, but not call it Super Saiyan 4. Make it a little bit different and give it a different backstory. Let's take the Shadow Dragons and make that concept cooler, because I think it definitely could have been cooler. It could have been better executed, because a lot of the dragons, the Shadow Dragons, they kind of suck. You guys already know Nova, Ice, and Omega are your only ones that you want to see, and the only ones they ever want to play with. And you cut to that part in Dragon Ball GT where we get to meet these characters and skip all the rest of the Shadow Dragons because they all suck. And so that's all my preference. But I'm just saying, like, what's stopping from putting GT characters in Dragon Ball Super now? What's stopping them from doing Android 21? What's them from stopping her entrance into the series, or any of the Xenoverse characters? Hell, even the Dragon Ball Heroes characters, some of these fantasy ones, they can be put into the series now. So it just opens the floodgates to what could be the future of Dragon Ball Super. And I gotta be honest, I'm even though I'm bummed out and I think it's a little bit lazy, I'm extremely ecstatic that this movie looks so hype from just this poster, and I'm extremely ecstatic that this movie's holding no punches, and they're just like, we're just making Broly, and you guys are gonna love it. And I think that we will, and I think that makes it so the rest of the non-canon characters, like Bojack, you guys remember him? I didn't really care too much for the movie, but I thought he was really cool, and so that could be a character they could bring back, and I'm just excited for that. I guess that's the main part. I hope that they add new Saiyan characters into this movie, and any subsequent movies have new characters like that. I just think that they need to add some new characters also. And I mean, for those of you guys saying that in Dragon Ball Super we had tons of new characters, we did. I mean, we had we had retreads of some older ones, like older tropes, but we had new characters for the most part. I still want new characters. Dragon Ball Super had a lot of nostalgia behind it and had a lot of callbacks to Dragon Ball Z. I just talked about Toyotaro in the new manga having a lot of callbacks to Dragon Ball Z and me wanting to see something new. So I can't give the anime, I can't change it for the anime. I want to see something new. But I think that this is going to be cool, and I think that they could really do a lot of fun stuff with a lot of these other characters that are not canon right now and make them canon. That's the best part, I think. Anyway, guys, if you think that I am being too critical, then you're on the wrong channel, because I am who I am, and I say it how I see it, you know. But at the same time, I understand that this movie looks like fucking flames. This is gonna be BlackScape signing off.